Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper. It's time to take a look at the news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. We start the week at the crossroads of the world, New York City. In conjunction with the annual fundraising gala, Mike Novogratz and his team brought the Beat the Streets event back to Times Square for the third time. This year's event was a new format. Team USA took on a team of World All-Stars. The mats were placed at a new location between 42nd and 43rd Streets, and the crew from NBC Sports Network, announcers Jason Knapp and Rulon Gardner, were on hand to broadcast the action to the world. It was a great day for the Americans as Team USA blasted the World All-Stars 8-3, and it was a standing room only crowd that was on hand to watch. Perhaps the most entertaining bout came at 143. Two-time world team member Brent Metcalf squared off with world bronze medalist Magomed Kurbanliev. The Russian took a second-period lead after a big four-point throw, but Metcalf scored a late takedown and turn to win the bout 11-8 for his second career win over the tough Russian.
It's a lot of fun. You're out there wrestling, and you got a lot of support here, and you know that there's big-time supporters in the crowd, and that makes you feel good. Outside of just the big names in our circles, but you know, all these kids, you think about it, there's a lot of them here pulling for you. It makes you want to go and get tough on that mat for them.
Well, another big win for the home team came in women's freestyle at 152. 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Randy Miller controlled the action from the start. She scored numerous takedowns on the way to an impressive 11-5 win over the world champ Alina Makina of Ukraine.
I like that I was pushing the pace. You know, I would like to score and have more arsenal. You know, that's something to go back home and work on. But today I'm happy with the pressure I was able to keep in the pace and the positioning. You know, it gives me some confidence, but like I said, to win here doesn't, I mean, it's a lot of fun to be here, but to win here doesn't, you got to win where it counts, you know. So basically I'm going to take what I learned today here, wrestling a great opponent, and put some stuff in my practice.
Well, the main event of the night at 163, as you might guess, Olympic champ, two-time world champion Jordan Burroughs took to the mats and took on a young Russian star in Atsamaz Sankayev. The last time these two guys met in Armenia, Burroughs emerged victorious by only a single point, a tight one. But this time around, it was all Burroughs. So after opening up a big lead in the second, Jordan hit a blast double and scored a touch fall with just 2 seconds left in the bout.
I grew up walking these streets, looking at these big billboards, buying nuts for nuts from the little stands and all the street meat and good stuff like that. But for me to wrestle on this stage and this big of a platform is a blessing. And my family's here. They don't get to see me compete often. So it's just great for them, great for myself, and I enjoy experiences like this. I'm from Jersey. Yeah, so I'm right down the street, man. Literally, I'm about an hour and a half from here. I'm about 20 miles from Philadelphia, right off the Atlantic City Expressway, Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Well, the U.S. picked up some big wins in the lightweights. We got a 134. U.S. Open champ Jimmy Kennedy, the more aggressive athlete, got the final point in a 2-1 win over Russian Alexander Bogmayev.
It's great. I mean, just to be here with the buildings all alongside you and the people out here watching you, being outside, it's something that you don't get a chance to wrestle in. For me to have that opportunity, it's awesome. I knew when I was taking my shots, I had to really come back up and stay in good position because he's known for his re-attacks. And so every time I shot, I made sure I got my elbows back in if I didn't get it right away. And I just kept pressuring him.
Well, a battle of collegiate rivals at 143, two-time NCAA champ Jordan Oliver stopped the European runner-up Boris Novashkov of Bulgaria 4-1. Now remember, Novashkov was an All-American at Cal Poly. Oliver, an Oklahoma State star, had a 2-1 record in the series between the two during their collegiate days. This was their first senior freestyle showdown.
It's another competition, you know. You want to compete as much as you can leading up into the trials to get that experience, to get out and compete. It's a different feeling than in the practice room. So this is it's a great stepping stone for me heading into trials. You know, wrestling a real good opponent, but I still have some unfinished business to take care of. So leave from here and get straight back to work.
2012 world silver medalist Helen Maroulis opened up her offense. She racked up the points against Pan American rival Marcia Andredes of Venezuela at 121. Maroulis ended the bout by way of pin with just 7 seconds left in the frame for her 4th career win over her opponent.
There's nothing like this, you know, I mean, world stage cheer crazy, and it's awesome. But here you're in U.S. territory. Everyone's supporting you. It's USA against the world. You know, we're in the middle of Times Square. I mean, you can't really compare that. I also have to work on the areas that I'm lacking in, you know, so for me, turns, which I was working on that girl, and I did get one turn, ankle lace, so I was happy about that, but I felt like I didn't transition well, so, I mean, it's just working hard, doing the right things.
And back-to-back wins by Penn State Hammers David Taylor at 63 and Ed Ruth at 189 fired up the American contingent. Taylor, a two-time NCAA champ and two-time Hodge Trophy winner, showed great composure and poise. He came out on top in every single scramble for a 6-0 victory over two-time world bronze medalist Yubrel Hazanov of Azerbaijan. The score 6-0. Taylor won all the important scramble positions.
This is a good match. You know, it was kind of in training, progressive for the World Team Trials. Great opportunity to wrestle a great guy. You know, now it's the rest of this week. I'm not real sure. I was talking to my coaches, and then we got really probably 1.5 weeks of good training, and then it's time to get ready for the tournament. And then, you know, that's this year. That's what I have my mindset to. That's what the rest of this year is going to, you know, depend on is how that result goes. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to, and it's something I'm really excited for.
Ruth, who won 3 NCAA crowns for the Nittany Lions, was dominant on his feet. He scored a second period 10-0 tech fall over Spain's Tamaraz Friev.
It makes you feel like, you know, there's a lot more left. There's a lot of room to learn things. You know, in the match, I kind of felt there's a lot of things that went wrong. You know, I can look at that match and be like, wow, I could have did this better. And, you know, those are just a lot of things I can clean up for the trials. I mean, it feels great just to still be at this level of competition, wrestling around, and still have one of my teammates with me. You know, you just basically, it's like having family with you. You feel comfortable. You feel like there's somebody there that you've been with this whole time, seeing a familiar face. It just helps you out a lot.
Well, the U.S. team looked good throughout the day, even in defeat. We go to 125. It took a last-second push-out by Bulgarian junior world silver medalist Georgi Vangelov to edge Cornell's two-time NCAA All-American Nishan Garrett. The score there, 5-4. And about that went down to the wire. Two-time Canadian Olympic team member Haslin Garcia broke open a 2-2 tie with 2 front headlock turns to defeat 3-time NCAA champ Logan Stieber. The score there, 6-2 at 143 pounds. One of the world's top superstars, Olympic champ and 5-time world champion Kazimierat Gatsalov of Russia took on 18-year-old Kyle Snyder of Team USA. Remember, he was a gold medal winner at the 2013 Junior World Championships. Snyder scored a big takedown and kept the match close before Gatsalov closed out a 6-3 win. It was a great showing from an emerging star in Snyder. Assistant national coach Bill Zadek was in the U.S. corner. He was impressed by the team's performance.
What do you say, but wow. I mean, lots of flurries, lots of action, lots of scrambling. David Taylor coming out on top of everything. Ed Ruth coming out on top of everything. I mean, we win this event. That's excellent for us and even our girls, you know, winning great matches tonight. The announcement of Bruce Burnett as the helm of our freestyle program, and then 2 weeks later we're into our trials. So it's a lot of excitement and hopefully building momentum going into our summer training for the World Championships.
The new national freestyle coach, Bruce Burnett, in his first day on the job, was pleased with what he saw.
First of all, the excitement that was in the crowd is so good for the sport of wrestling, and what Mike Novogratz has done, it's so impressive for sport of wrestling and USA Wrestling, but more importantly for our athletes to have the opportunity to showcase their talents. I mean, what an evening, what an opportunity to watch our best guys compete against the best people in the world, and it was an exciting event. It was just good for wrestling, good for USA Wrestling.
Our Beat the Streets news continues. You're watching USA Wrestling. We'll be right back. Well, the Beat the Streets event is all about having fun, promoting the sport, and raising money for youth in New York City. The gala is the brainchild of Mike Novogratz, a business leader who's used his creativity and passion to turn the Beat the Streets event into one of the most popular wrestling events in the world. The 2014 event raised $1.6 million for youth wrestling programs. We talked with Novogratz Matside during the competition.
It was an interesting concept, but it was very difficult to execute.
Right.
We've got 11 athletes from 7 countries, and that's exciting. I wanted to get great opponents for our most exciting wrestlers, and so, you know, we've got 3 guys in the 66-pound class, and we were going to have 374 if Kyle didn't get hurt. But we've got great opponents. You know, got Soloff, the 5-time world champ, plus Olympic gold medal, kind of being the marquee foreigner.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
But everyone's somewhere between, you know, ranked 3rd, 5th, you know, and so other than the Soloff match, I think most of and probably the Burroughs match, most of these matches are 50-50.
Beat the Streets has an incredible staff led by Executive Director Jimmy Fallis. He helped pull together a very successful day.
We get such great support, and of course Mike and Kira and everybody on the board does a great job and stirring the pot and getting those people involved. So we're really excited. Once again, it'll be a successful campaign. We don't know what the numbers are yet, but I'm sure we'll know by the end of the night with event associates helping us out, and we're looking forward to it. And it really does then kick up all the things that we can do with the kids, starting with summer camps that we can send kids to.
Well, every year a number of celebrities make their way to the event in the city to participate in all the activities. This year, popular TV host Kelly Ripa and her family were there. Ripa, a wrestling mom, talked about the Beat the Streets program on 2 separate occasions during her morning show with Michael Strahan. Also sitting matside, UFC President Dana White. He flew in from Vegas to check out the action with USA Wrestling's Executive Director Rich Bender, Beat the Streets Chairman Mike Novogratz, and 4-time NCAA champ Kyle Dake. White talked to us about his support for the sport and its importance in mixed martial arts.
I was just telling these guys, it's like being in a baseball game. You got to keep your eyes open. Instead of getting hit with a line drive, you're going to get a 240-pound guy landing on top of you. I actually came in for this event. You know, wrestling's a very important part of the UFC and mixed martial arts. So I'm very involved in not only preserving the sport of wrestling and making sure it continues to remain an Olympic sport, but trying to keep alive high school and college, you know, wrestling teams.
Well, the event always draws a large crowd, and people from around the country come out en masse to enjoy Olympic wrestling and support a good cause. Among the fans in attendance, 2-time Olympic champ, 3-time world champ Bruce Baumgartner.
This is awesome. I mean, just to see the people here in Times Square, the promoters, what Mike Novogratz and Beat the Streets have done in New York City is really just phenomenal. You know, New York is a great city. To have wrestling like we have today is just awesome. I mean, it's just looking forward to every match. It just, the atmosphere is just electric. You know, I was talking to a bunch of former wrestlers that say, you know, this would be like the pinnacle. To be able to wrestle in Times Square is just unbelievable.
USA Wrestling's Executive Director Rich Bender gave his thoughts.
Can't get any bigger than this. I mean, obviously, man's greatest sport on probably man's greatest stage. Times Square, the heartbeat of the world. I mean, what more can you ask for man's greatest sport? Certainly there's a lot of landmarks around the city. Don't want to let anything out of the bag. Right. Times Square is hard to beat. I mean, wrestling on the Intrepid and Grand Central Station last year obviously were incredible stages for our sport. But I think the best is yet to come, and I think in the Olympic year, it's going to be something that people won't believe.
Alex Conte, one of the top women's coaches in the country, came down from Buffalo to help coach the U.S. women.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm just so excited to be invited to these things and be part of the whole program. The Beat the Streets is probably one of the most meaningful organizations to hit this country, and it's just awesome how fast it's growing in all the other cities. And to have this event here, to me, it's breathtaking. It's really, really exciting.
We also talked with some of the fans who came in to enjoy the excitement to be a part of the event from New Jersey.
Hey, we're in Times Square here with a whole group from Jersey. You guys a family or a club, or where are you from?
I got a club. These are some of my wrestlers.
So where in Jersey are you from?
We're from Kearney.
I love your shirt, USA Wrestling.
Yeah, representing today, you know.
So we're here a little early. You guys spending all day in the city?
Yeah, we're going to grab some lunch and then hopefully be back and get close enough to watch some of the wrestling.
All right, we invite you to stay tuned. We'll be back. There's more news when we return. Stay tuned. Olympian and world medalist Jake Herbert was in Times Square demonstrating his new training product, attack bands, for the crowd. There were 3 youth matches held on the center mat where the wrestlers competed using the attack bands, and Herbert talked about the new product.
Andy Rovat, myself, and a couple of partners have developed attack bands right here. And to sum it up, essentially what it is, it's flag football for wrestling. You put one on your ankle, your opponent has one on your ankle, and it's endless hours of training and fun for kids. And that's one of the biggest things is this goes all the way up through youth down to kids, but they attack, they score, they look at it as a game. You try to get a 6-year-old, to do a down block shot reshot, it's not going to happen. You try to get a 10-year-old to do down block shot reshot, maybe a little bit. But when they put these on, and the incentive is, oh, get to their ankle, rip it off, get their ankle, rip it off. They have a goal, they have a focus, they move, they attack, their heads are down low, they get low. It's unbelievable, and you guys are about to see it up here, and I'm really excited for it.
Beat the Streets is all about youth wrestling, and one of the highlights, the exhibition bouts between local wrestlers that kicks off the show every year. This time, a team of high school girls and boys from New York City challenged a team from across the river in New Jersey. Jersey started the day with a win in a girls' bout at 100 by Amy Ferruccio over Ronnie Green. New York City rebounded with a win in girls' action at 130 by Samantha Oy Gonzalez in a high-scoring affair. From there, it was all New Jersey. Top national recruit Anthony Giraldo scored an 8-2 win at 145. And then New Jersey, well, they ran off 3 tech fall victories from Dylan Artiglieri at 170, Christian Galucci at 195, and Jordan Fox at 195. The final bout at 220 was a barn burner. Anthony Cassar of New Jersey edged out Nathaniel Rose of New York 8-6. The youth matches are a big part of the Beat the Streets event, and the kids who get to wrestle in Times Square, well, they always enjoy the opportunity. Congrats to the young athletes who are a huge part of the day. Well, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame announced the national winners for the High School Excellence Award this week. Since '96, the Hall of Fame has honored the top high school senior in the country based upon wrestling and academic achievements and community service. Past winners have included Olympic medalist Coleman Scott of Pennsylvania and Garrett Lowney of Minnesota, as well as 8 wrestlers who went on to win NCAA titles. In addition to the national winner, state and regional winners were also honored. The winner of the Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award this year was Pennsylvania star Chance Marsteller, a 4-time state champ and 3-time cadet nationals champ. He's a 3.33 GPA student who will head to Oklahoma State next year. For the first time, the Tricia Saunders High School Excellence Award was given to a deserving women's wrestler in honor of the legendary 4-time world champ and women's wrestling pioneer. State awards were given in the 6 states that have official high school tournaments for girls. The National Tricia Saunders Award went to California's Marina Doy, a 2-time state champ, 3-time cadet world medalist, and junior nationals champ. Assistant National Women's Coach Erin Tomeo talked about why Marina Doy is so deserving.
Marina Doy and her twin sister Regina, both of them are kind of gems in the rough. You don't find a lot of athletes like them with just completely well balanced between their curriculum activities, their education, their wrestling careers, the path they're leading, their leadership roles they play within the cadet age group. They're just really well-rounded, well-respected, mature, and very focused girls and athletes.
USA Wrestling Weekly continues after this short timeout. Stay tuned. Well, the last chance qualifier for the World Team Trials, the Northern Plains Regionals, was held in Waterloo, Iowa this last weekend. The winners from the event earned a spot at the Freestyle World Team Trials that will take place in Madison, Wisconsin, or the Greco-Roman World Team Trials that will take place in Daytona Beach, Florida. The freestyle tournament featured some great action. Former Cornell star and U.S. Open runner-up Frank Pirelli scored an impressive 12-2 tech fall in the finals over Clayton Rush at 125. Now we go to 143. Former Boise State star and 2-time junior world team member Jason Chamberlain beat Brett Robbins 8-1 in the finals. And past Oklahoma State star Cale Byers edged out Americans NCAA runner-up Ryan Flores 6-5 in the finals at 213 pounds. Other champs included 3-time NEIA champ Eric Thompson at heavyweight, junior world silver medalist Patrick Downey at 189, Zach Synan at 132, Vladislav Dombrowski at 154, and Lucas Smith, well, he weighed in and did well at 163. week. It was a big day for the Minnesota Storm Club, who earned individual titles, 3 of them in the Greco-Roman competition. Division III national champ from Augsburg, Mike Pfeffinger, was the 130-pound champ, winning a 4-athlete round robin. Pfeffinger was a 2-time junior world team member and continues his winning ways. Joseph Rao, a Division III champ from Elmhurst, claimed the 187-pound gold medal with a tech fall over Josh Kohler in the finals. Now we go to 286-pound Storm heavyweight. Donnie Lagendijk pinned runner-up Ori Eller in the first period on his way to the gold. Other Greco champs included former U.S. Open champ Kevin Ahern at 216 pounds, U.S. OEC star Sam Jones at 145, plus Camden Grimes at 165, Norman Manning at 156, and Zach Bennett at 176. Congrats to all who competed. Well, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week contest as we head to the final frame of this show. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country and are also being considered for the photo contests in our USA Wrestler magazine and on our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's photo was taken by Melissa Aguirre and shows 9-year-old Michael Bartish of the Norwalk Mad Bulls Wrestling Club. Look at he's working for the pin at the Connecticut State Championships in New Haven. Have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest. Email them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. For all of us here at our studios in Des Moines, Iowa, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching this week's edition of USA Wrestling Weekly.